Hey everyone, Sparks back with another Goddess Victory Nikke video, and I'm talking about the Animate Nikke pop-up that just happened earlier today, and this was a really good event. I think they really upped their organization. So one of my biggest critiques of the last pop-up event that I went to, which was at Xingfu Tang, the boba shop that did a collab with Nikke, was that I just felt like they were not prepared for the crowds, and they could have had more clear labeling of lines, and just the waits were pretty insane. It was still a fun event, but there was definitely room for improvement. And I think that either just Animate is a lot more experienced at doing these things, which is probably true, or Tencent slash ShiftUp knew that they needed a little bit better crowd control and more prepared resources for their retail partners. But I think really probably Animate just has a lot of experience with doing these kind of things. They've done, various random events. Like they already had things set up from a recent Wuthering Waves event, which was actually still in the back of the store with a bunch of like standees and a little bit of merch. So clearly they've done this kind of thing before. But I just kind of want to do a little review of like what happened at the event for those of you that couldn't make it, and show you guys a lot of the sweet swag that I got. And we'll also be doing a little giveaway for subscribers. So we'll talk about that at the end of the video. So Animate is just a store that sells general anime merch, or probably a lot of you guys know it. They sell manga and like figures and stuff like that. And this particular location was in Torrance, California, in the mall. I think being in the mall helped with like organization, because malls generally have very strict rules about like not standing in front of like other storefronts to keep things open for them, as well as just keeping like walkways clear and stuff like that. And so I think that definitely helped with the organization. So the official event was supposed to start at 12:30. I got there immediately when the mall opened. It opened at 10, but it was like actually open a little sooner. I got there around 9:40-ish, and there was already a small line there, but I immediately got in line. I was in the first like 30 or 40 people, which kind of sounds like there was already a lot of people there, which it was, but still in the scheme of things, I was way ahead of like a ton of people later on. So the first thing is you got in line, and there was already a dude there with a sign that said like, line for raffle tickets starts here, and then you like got in line there. And so it was like very clear what you were doing right away. So you got in this line, and as you were standing in line, then they handed out a little card to you that gave you like a designated time for when you could come back for the raffle. And they were doing raffles like every hour, like 4 or 5 times throughout the afternoon. And I was in that second group actually, because it was like groups of 30 people, I believe. And so they handed everybody who was already in line their time slots, and then you got to actually walk into the store for your first chance to buy merch. And there was a lot of pretty cool Nikke merch. As you can see, they had shirts, they had the acrylic stands, they had like little bags and like file organizers and keychains and cards. A pretty good selection. I want to say this was the best like body of Nikke merch that I've seen at any one specific place before. So that was pretty cool. So then after you did that, then you could leave and then come back for your time. And then you got in a line for quote unquote games. Now this line was really long. Now I went to go get food because I was hungry and I was going to come back because it was still a few hours until they were going to do the raffle. But apparently if I had stuck around for like another 30 minutes or so, I could have gotten in the next line immediately. And it was to go in for games. This was the only part that was a little unclear, because it turned out that I actually didn't need to be in that line. And we'll get to that in a second. I ended up just abandoning that line. It didn't matter. But still, it was well organized. They had a dude saying this is the line for the mini arcade. But the games that you actually got to do were like not really games. So as it turned out, once I was already in that line for about 30 minutes or so, it was coming up to my time slot for the raffle. And so the employee said that we could reserve our spot. So she was very helpful. That was very cool. And then we could get back in the line to do the like quote unquote arcade games after we went up to do a raffle. But as it turned out, we could do the games at the same time as we were in there for the raffle. So it ended up making it, even more smooth. I guess the line for the arcade games was just for people who hadn't managed to get a raffle ticket. So that was a thing. The game was also not that great. The actual activities at the last pop-up at the boba shop were better. There was more things to do there. The game for this was literally like just a little card of like a little scene. Like I don't even remember what the art was. I think it had flora on it or something. And you were supposed to like find the differences, and you had 10 seconds to do it. And it was kind of really like spur of the moment. Like you got up there after taking a picture with the cosplayers, really high quality cosplayers, by the way. Hats off to Red Hood and Rappy. They looked great. They were also announcing the raffle. Unfortunately, I didn't win the raffle. For each time slot, they gave out 3 prizes. I wasn't one of the lucky winners this time, but still, that was fine. Even if you didn't win, you could go up and just like get a picture with the cosplayers. They looked really good. And then immediately you go over to this little card, which was just like a little poster that they showed you, and they're like, find a difference. You have 10 seconds. And I failed. I didn't find one of the differences, but it would have given you one of these little things, which I was fortunate enough to get. This was actually my friend's, but I just have it here to show you guys on camera. So I guess I'll just show you what's in here right now. I got one of these at the last event. It's one of these weird little picture frame kind of things. Hey, I'm hanging out with my girlfriend Sakura on the beach. Last time I got guilty, so at least it was different this time. So that was the prize for the quote-unquote game. And there were no other games. I thought, like, at the Anime Expo booth, there was, like, a lot more activities. Of course, that's, like, a bigger deal thing. But then even at the boba shop, there were a lot more little activities to do. Link in the description below if you want to check out what that event was like, and you can see the activities that we did and things like that. But aside from the actual game being a little lame, like I said, this was more well organized and a really good amount of merch to buy as well. And the cosplayers were really cool. They looked really good. Got some good pictures. So now let's talk about the actual swag. What did I get? What is the merch? So I got this shirt right here. They had a few different shirts. I'll go ahead and open this. You guys can get some plastic crinkling ASMR. And live reveal right here. I haven't opened this, but it's basically got line art. And there is Rappy there in the center, and then Anise and Neon. Thought it was pretty cool. And then on the back, got Nikke hiding my face. So yeah, pretty cool. This is my second ever Nikke shirt. The only other one I got was given to me by the marketing manager at Anime Expo. So yeah, pretty cool. I figured this way, when I go to my next Nikke event, I can wear a different t-shirt. And I love that it's large, but it's kind of like the oversized with like longer sleeves. It's definitely kind of like the style that I like to wear nowadays anyway. So yeah, pretty good shirt. Expensive though. That shirt was $50. So, you know, yeah. What else did I get? So this was a really cool pin and it says Nikke 2nd anniversary, and this is really high quality. It's heavy. You can feel it's like thick, solid metal. And yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going to put this pin, but this looks great. And this you got no matter what, even if you didn't win the raffle, they gave these out when you went and take a picture with the cosplayers. So that was cool. And then I also bought a set of coasters, and it has the records from the soundtrack in game. So let's open this up and see which ones I got. I've kind of been almost buying coasters for a while, and this just seemed like the perfect time to actually buy some. And I love that they're like miniature. Oh, they really do. It really does look like a record. Man, I was hoping there was going to be more than one in here, though. Oh, man, I really thought there was going to be at least like 2 in here. That's a little bit disappointing. But anyway, what did I get? Which one is this? This one. Oh, comment below. Tell me, which soundtrack is this? What does it say? Sandstorm. What event was this? Yo, I can't remember at all what this is, but this is literally like a little vinyl record, and it's got the art that you see in game in the commander's room at the jukebox or whatever. So that's pretty cool, but was really hoping there was 2 of these in here. I wasn't expecting it to only be 1. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. And what else did I get? I got 2 keychains. So my 2 favorite girls right here got Snow White and Nihilister. Well, Nihilister and Snow White. Couldn't see what I was doing. So pretty cool, high quality little keychains. I'll probably put these on like a zipper pull of like a backpack or something like that. Maybe not actually on my keys. They might get scratched up that way. But yeah, I've never seen these kind of keychains, and I just thought they looked really good. And it was an opportunity to get my 2 favorite Nikkes. By the way, people always ask me, what are my top 3 Nikkes? And I've never been able to decide on a top 3. There was like 5 people tied. But I think now I can definitively say Cinderella is my 3rd favorite Nikke. So those are my top 3. Snow White, Nihilister, and Cinderella. For those of you who keep asking. Another thing that you got, if you bought any anime or any Nikke merch, you got this cool book. And this is like really nice and high quality feeling. It's got like gold leaf on it. It's like a thick kind of journal thing. And I wanted to get this. This was possible to get at the last pop-up at Xingfu Tang, but they were out of them by the time I got up there because I was in line for 6.5 hours. And so it was really nice to see that it was possible to get it this time. It's just like blank graph paper, which is a little weird that it's not just lined paper, but yeah, it looks really like classy and high quality. So was happy to get this. I'm not sure like how often I'll actually take notes on a piece of paper nowadays, but still, it's a pretty dope little notebook. All right, so now I got 3 other things, and these are for you guys. So I'm going to do a giveaway, and before I reveal what the stuff is, I'll just let you know what the requirements are. So you need to be subscribed to the channel, you need to like the video, and leave a comment on this video telling me who your favorite Nikke is. And if it is a specific variation of the Nikke, like a summer or holiday version of them or whatever, tell me which version of that character it is. Collab units count as well. So if you want to say like A2, 2B, Asuka, whatever, that's all fair game. But they have to be a playable unit or NPC in the Nikke game. So, all right, first thing is this little sticker sheet. And it has a lot of these really cute little chibi versions of the characters. So we have Double D and Cinderella. And is that Pilgrim symbol? Yeah, the Pilgrim symbol, Tetra, Missilus, and Elysian symbols are all stickers as well. Also got Eleg and Noir, Alice, Maid Privity, and then what? Blanc, Grave, the cheerleaders, and Black Shadow Scarlet. So I got one of these other sticker sheets at Anime Expo, but it was different characters, different stickers. I actually think these are a better selection of stickers. So one lucky winner will get this sticker sheet, and then another lucky winner will get this super spicy Summer Rosanna keychain, which you can see is holographic and changes from the full picture to the close-up. And yeah, I saw this and I was like, viewers will definitely love this. So yeah, make sure you leave a comment, like the video. If you're not subscribed already, chance to get this keychain. And then third option here, third possible prize is this clear file folder of Modernia in an alternate art. This is official merch, but I don't know if she was on like just some art for like one of the like anniversaries or New Year's one year. Like this feels vaguely familiar, or if this was just alternate art for merch. They have done this a couple times. There is merch, like there's like a different alternate like helm and things like that I've seen. So that is a thing. So this is the one side of it, and the other one is a more close-up of Modernia looking absolutely lovely. And again, this is a clear file folder. So those are your three prizes. You got your Modernia in her beautiful evening gown, or a summer bikini Rosanna keychain, or a sticker sheet of all the chibi characters right here. So I will ship these to anywhere in the US or Canada. I have done worldwide previously for other giveaways that I've done. Sometimes shipping got pretty insane. So I'm just telling you, I'm gonna limit this to US or Canada this time. I apologize to all my overseas international viewers, but like I said, just make sure that you are subscribed. you like the video and you leave a comment telling me who your favorite Nikke is, and then I will pick 3 random people in the comments there to go ahead and give out these prizes to. So let me know if you were able to make it to this pop-up or any other pop-ups. Like I said, I think this one was well run. It was a lot of fun, and it was also nice to be able to, you know, for the small time that I was in line, to be able to be inside in a mall rather than like outside getting rained on part of the time. So, all right, guys, I will catch you guys in the next video or stream.